Just how large is the income inequality gap? We'll take a look next on your Labor Minute. Hello, I'm Mark Harrison. It's a startling statistic, but the fact is that the size of the income gap is now as large as it was in the early 1900s. And of significance is the fact that when union participation in this country was at its peak, the income gap was at its smallest. Take a look at this chart. It begins in 1918 with a huge disparity between the share of the country's wealth going to the top 10% and the relatively low number of unionized workers. In the late 1950s, however, the gap narrows when we see union participation at around 30%. The chart begins to widen again in the 1960s, and the gap accelerates after 1980 when President Ronald Reagan fired the air traffic controllers. And since then, the assault on labor unions and workers in general has been almost non-stop in the court system, with politically appointed judges often ruling against organized labor and the National Labor Relations Act being changed in many cases to side with management. And now we find ourselves on the far right side of the chart, where the income gap is as large as it was during the Gilded Age of robber barons, 6 or 7 day work weeks, non-existent child labor laws, or workplace safety regulations. The point to remember is that when union participation stands around 30%, businesses without unions on their property treat their own workers with the same respect and pay and benefits as do businesses that have unions on their property. I'm Mark Harrison with your Labor Minutes.